You want to have state of the game right now? Send me a VC. We're gonna do state of the game. Okay. Whoa, what's up, dude? How you doing?
Sup.
But yeah, Nori, what's going on, man? How are you enjoying the state of Genshin Impact?
The saving grace is only a hangout. This I'm gonna say. The saving grace.
The saving grace is the hangouts?
Yeah, it's only the hangouts. It's only the hangouts.
So here's a funny thing about Genshin's updates, right? Some people love the hangouts. Some people hate them.
How? Why?
This is what I'm talking about. It's like you can't please everyone. This game is designed to be like, well, we want to cast like the broadest net, right?
True.
There's degenerates. There's women. I'm just like, oh my god, like what is the demographic of the people that play this game? It's across the board. Like this game was made to be like appealing to way more people than Honkai was, right? And so we're in this state where like some of the shit that you get is good and some of it is not, or like it's just all based on personal preference, right?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
So yeah, like some people think the hangouts are really boring because it's like they don't like dating sims or whatever, right?
True. They want the action, they want the content, things to do, things to kill, things to fight, grind.
Yeah, for sure.
They don't like the hangouts.
Yeah, and then other people are like, oh, I love the hangouts, they're my favorite part. And then like Windbloom Festival shit is like terrible for them because they're like, oh, I hate these mini games, I hate Fall Guys. Shit is dumb, you know?
Mario Party.
Yeah, Mario Party sucks. But no, yeah, like I've been enjoying it for the most part. Like, yeah, I made a video where I like raged at everything, but like it's still fun. Like it's still like, oh, I'm playing a game, right?
Yeah, it's something to do, basically.
Yeah, it's something to do, of course.
It's better than nothing, alright?
Yeah, it's better than nothing. I mean, that's not high praise, right? Because then if people ask you like, so why do you play this game? Well, I mean, the events are better than nothing. Like that sounds pretty lame, right?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. Obviously I play this game because I don't know, I just think it's gorgeous. Like I just love the way it looks. I like the characters that they've made. Combat's very smooth. It's a world that I do want to get lost in, right? But I do feel like, that being said, it's hard to like stay lost in this world purely because of like the restrictions on like actual things you can play. Yeah, what we can actually do, right? So
I know. And it's gonna be like this for a while.
Mm-hmm.
That's why like I try to go out of bounds, find secret places.
Oh, that's cool. See, at least you try to do that. I know. I don't even care, dude. I'm just like, yeah, dailies, very cool, man.
Like dailies like after what, like 140 days in, like more dailies, right?
Hey man, you could be like Dan and like never get the Victor quest until like 5 months in, right?
I still haven't done it.
Really? You haven't gotten it?
I have not finished it at all. I got like maybe 2 out of the 3 or something.
Oh, the achievement. Okay, yeah, I don't know about getting the achievement. I'm just talking about like
just in general, like starting it.
Yeah, he like never actually got the quest. Period.
What?
Yeah. Which is crazy, and it happens. The RNG is real, dude.
Yeah. I believe that. It's like I've been saying before that I wish we can prioritize like what kind of commissions we want. I'm tired of seeing the same ones over and over, like day after day.
That's a really good piece of feedback that MiHoYo could use, I think.
Yeah, truly.
Because I feel like one problem. And I don't know if this is just like maybe us as like an NA audience, but like there's just too much RNG everywhere, right? Like in every aspect of the game.
RNG everything.
Yeah, every aspect of the game is RNG. And it's just kind of like,
would like some control. Some kind of something that gives us like a feeling that we're in control, Like we can like skew it just a bit,
Yeah.
Like the whole idea of like, say, if you're like in a certain area when the commission reset, it should give you like more in that area in general.
Oh.
I don't know if that's true or not. But someone did state that like, say you you got resetted during Mondstadt, right? You get more of like monster commission or a higher chance.
Oh, is that
would be
true?
interesting to have. I don't know. Someone said that it might be, but just not 100% sure.
Oh, okay. Because yeah, sometimes it's really weird when like you park your party at like Dawn Winery, and then all of your commissions are in Liga.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, okay, whatever, you know.
Yeah, it's all like basically random. Like you get from here or here.
Yeah.
All random. Yeah. Or another way they could do it is have commission be shareable in co-op.
Ooh. You know, co-op commissions would be interesting. I think.
Yeah. Co-op commission would be interesting.
I think co-op multi-stage commissions, like where you actually kind of have to go on a quest together, right?
Yeah. Like do like a chain quest.
Yeah. I just don't know if like. See, my problem is like I ask Dan this all the time. Like, hey, you've worked in games. Like, do you think that the co-op system can handle like what we're asking for? And like, I don't. That's the thing. Like, I just don't know if the confidence is there, right? In like, because from what we've experienced so far, it's just like, well, here's the thing: you can connect with other people in a different realm, and then it's like a separate instance of gaming.
Yeah.
So I feel like we're just not sure, right?
Listening to you talk is to the both of you is amazing.
Why?
You both have swagger voices.
Oh my god, Dan, you have a swagger voice too.
Now you gotta join us now.
Everyone's here for that Dan Asmer, dude.
I know, right?
Actually answering your question, I think you're right. I don't know if the system can support something complex like that. I'm a little worried.
Yeah,
remember
it can't.
Because okay. So I think Nori here, you still actively play 14, right?
Not that often now, no.
But you still play it, you know?
Yeah, I still play it. I have the subscription still.
And I would say you've played a significant amount of it, right? How many hours do you think you put into that game?
A lot.
Right? So judging from like just looking at something like 14, now I hate using this comparison because it's not the same thing. Genshin's not an MMO.
And
so, I mean, looking at Genshin as more of a single player experience with co-op, like I feel like it's actually going to be hard for them to implement like maybe a multi-stage like commission or quest. It would require some significant back-end decoding. The fact that they're taking so long, you know, because remember how in the developer update they said like, oh guys, we're working on the ability to do crafting in co-op, right? And they're like, please give us more time. And we're like, what more time could you possibly need? You know, like how much? Why is this such a problem?
Just copy and paste some code, forehead.
Yeah, no.
No. It's like there's too much bugs out of that.
Yeah, but you get the idea. It's just that there's clearly something wrong with the fundamentals of the game from a core system level, in which for them to do that is like, this isn't a small like change, which means that from a design perspective, something was not put in priority. And I think it's just be the accounts, like account data. Yeah, that worries me. The fact that they haven't been able to reconcile this quickly as an easy fix has me worried.
When was co-op introduced in the beta?
Closed at the end of closed beta test 1 for like 3 days or 2 days.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
But I still feel like that should have been enough time for them to be like.
It should have been. This is the
hey, maybe our co-op's dog shit. Maybe we should rebuild it.
I mean,
if that was the case, right?
I think if we go back to Nori streams and even streams from CBT2, everyone's made the same comment. We're like, hey, this game is great, but it's missing X. And within the X, I remember Nori saying like needs better co-op. I'm sure he said it. I know Hige has said it too. I think all of us have put it into their surveys for like, and this is back in closed beta, like, hey guys, co-op needs some additional work, you know, like, and I don't know if we were as detailed into what we wanted to do, but I think the general consensus was like, this is a good start, but you have to do more with it. And what I'm afraid of MiHoYo taking that is like, oh, we can do co-op things like, you know, Tower Mechanist, like Windbloom event as acceptable replacements for co-op.
Yeah. Meanwhile, like, our feedback is actually no. The actual mechanics of your co-op are not good.
Yeah, need work. Yeah, and we need better encounter design. Like we need We need multi-phase,
procedurally generated dungeons.
That's more of a setting thing, so that we don't feel the world is old over and over again. But
Right.
What I mean, something that Henri brought up is that we have units, like we have people like I hate to say it, but we have big streamers who've whaled a lot of money on the game, and they're able to like destroy shit in literal seconds. They can do like 2 million damage, and it just like what happens to the game then? Because the game is from a perspective of like, how do we overcome this challenge becomes easy. Because if you can just walk into a boss room and one shot the boss, what is everyone else doing? Something that Henri brought up was that, and I know like there's a lot of gamers, but there should be some type of phase where basically like you can't just do 1 million damage to it. So either they need to fix, vaporize, and melt, and nerf it, or they need to find ways to have it so that like mechanically within the fight there are invincibility phases where you have to do something very specific, and during this time you cannot deal damage to the boss. That happens. It happens in WoW. I'm sure Final Fantasy has
for sure. They do.
Yeah, there's some phases where the boss is like, okay, guys, we have to do this or whatever it is. It could be A, B, or C. But during this phase, we can't just be wailing on the boss and doing damage to it.
Yeah, you have to trigger something that activates either a weakness or
exactly
allows you to do damage again.
Something, yeah. And
phase changes.
Phase changes, like proper phase changes, right?
Yeah, encounter design. This is a big thing that I feel that when we first were watching Genshin come together, we thought like, hey, you know what? These are actually interesting encounter designs. We had Dvalin, we had Wolf, we eventually got Child, we have Oceanid. Like these are good, but they are very slow, and that worries me. That's what worries me.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Oh, sorry. It's just very clear that they are making changes and they are improving the game over time. I think it's just the pace that is like the main complaint, right?
It's not quick enough. Like people want it like faster changes, like, but they're busy doing other things that they quote promise.
Yeah, according to Dan, it's making shitty web events, right? And honestly, I can do without. I can do without. Besides Slime Paradise, I can do without the.
Yeah, imagine if we had no web events. Would anyone be mad? Would any of us here say like, "Oh,
no,
I wish we had those web events"? Right?
Yeah, like I really wish you would make a web event for this game, please. I mean, to be fair though, like I don't think the web events are even like remotely connected to the regular dev team. Besides the integration they have to do to send you an item.
Exactly. It seems pretty like, what's the word, like unconnected, right?
Yeah, I'm thinking a separate team does it.
Very distant.
Yeah, it's not. I don't think it's like I don't think it's pulling a lot of resources away from the core game dev team.
Yeah, it's definitely some other team doing this.
You gotta make sure you remember that cooking event exists, Kappa. God, I'm glad I blazed through that.
Yeah, it's over, right? Yeah, it's over.
Yeah. I missed the daily login, dude. Rip me.
Quick reminder to do your daily login.
I'm done with it. No point doing it anymore.
Nice.
Until it resets, maybe.
When does it reset? Do you guys know?
No.
I don't know. That's the
Please
thing.
don't reset. Please be in game, God.
I know, right?
You just gotta do it for 3 weeks. Just get the 60 primos, and that's it.
True. I mean, I still wanted like the 5 wits or whatever. It's still good.
Are you really 5 wits?
Hey man, free wits is free wits. Right?
Alright. Just don't forget to log in. Just don't forget. That's the thing.
Yeah, I know.
Right?
I already got it. I already got something good. Like I'm only gonna miss like what, 5,000 more or some shit?
Like 500. I mean 5,000.
It's 5,000, but yeah, it's not, it's not super significant.
I'm gonna post a link in your chat. Just the guide for the hidden achievements in 1.4. I think if you do all of them, you get 530 primos.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I remember seeing the hidden Chivo thing on Reddit. And I was like, oh, that's cool. I didn't know you got extra, you got primos for it. Now it's like,
Extra?
we gotta do it, dude.
Achievement hunting again?
What hunting?
Achievement
Achievement
hunting?
again?
Yeah, pretty much.
I
haven't done it yet for 1.4.
Yeah, Hige's saying the cooking event, like, he only did twice because it was too out of the way. And it really is. Like, it's just not integrated into the game, Rain generally doesn't do web events. Yeah, like that, they're quite a hassle. Yeah, and like, I mean, it sounds funny because like for me, it's like, oh no, I'm like, okay, I have to admit, I'm not the average Genshin player. Okay, like I make fucking spreadsheets about my characters when I want to level them properly, right? So sure, like maybe I care a little more than the average Genshin player. But yeah, if I were to tell like a rando Genshin player, hey, guess what? You have a web event you can do. They'd be like, what? What are you talking about? You know?
Oh yeah, they'd be surprised.
Yeah, web events are, you know, the free modes, yeah. Play Eva theme on stream. What?
Yeah.
Basically a filler.
What are you talking about?
Do you have the lyre? Did you collect the lyre?
Oh, not yet. No.
Okay.
Oh, someone has a video of them playing the Eva theme.
They have the keys.
The sheet music. Oh, okay.
They essentially have the Genshin sheet music. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
See, the funny thing is, I think we talked about this before, but like instead of making stuff like, you know, new encounters, deeper dungeons and stuff like that, they're kind of doing stuff like this, where it's like, look at this rich world of making music inside our game.
I don't mind this.
Look at these games within our game, which I don't particularly mind, right?
Right.
I still think it's nice.
Yeah, but it's not helping them, you know.
Yeah, like in terms of
this is the thing that's not going to bring back like thousands of players, you know what I mean?
Right. And to be fair though, I don't think they need to bring back a huge population, right?
Okay.
They'll come back when they want to.
Yeah. Albie says he would drop this game if it turns too co-op heavy. And that's completely understandable because
what's an example though?
Like okay, well the thing is like I think we talked about this before, but I was mentioning MMOs before, right? I was saying like the reason why I like this game honestly is because I don't have to treat it like an MMO. In the sense that like I have to sign on a coordinated schedule with a bunch of other people, and like, I'm not saying that's like something I don't want to do. It's just that like I said earlier, like dude, like sometimes I just feel like I'm a busy person. Like I can't just be like, all right guys, I'm gonna game for the next 6 hours, right? It's like, no dude, like I appreciate that I can fire up the game, do my commissions, burn resin, and I'm like, I feel like I did something today, cool. But like
right.
I know that like that feeling isn't the same for everyone.
Right.
Yeah. That's one thing I feel about when I'm playing 14. Like you have to be on tight schedule with other people if you were to do lots of content.
Is there a solution to this? Is there a solution to this? So something that we can meet in terms of a meeting, like a middle ground between what you want and then what we have in traditional MMOs, because I think it's possible. And I
Illuminate party. I was kidding.
I understand both points. Like I understand. Like today I've been busy, but I love the fact that I can just jump on right now, play for about 2 hours, and I won't feel like I have somewhat like missed out on something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not gonna feel like I'm behind on the Windbloom event. They make it easy enough for it to be obtainable of everything once we just play every day.
Yes, I actually like. Okay, if I were to compare Honkai to this game, I think sometimes I like with Honkai, I'm like, God, I'm missing out because I'm not playing that game enough, like often enough and long enough, right?
I see you on a lot too.
Yeah, because it's fun. I enjoy the game, but like in Genshin, I'm like, I feel like the pace can sometimes be too slow, but maybe they've learned from Honkai in the sense that like, hey, some of our players are just feeling like they can't do stuff that we want them to do because it's too much for them.
Yeah, like too much time consuming.
Yeah. I mean, at the same time though, like I think developing for Honkai and developing for Genshin are two different things.
Yeah.
Right. I still think Genshin is a more complicated game to develop for, and I'm still gonna like hold that standard. I mean, it's a much larger game, period.
Well, the way that they've envisioned everything is a little more holistic, I feel.
Yeah, like it's not an instance-based game. Oh, okay. I mean, I say that, but like domains and shit totally are, right? But like in terms of core, like actual movement around the world and like experiencing it, Yeah, like you can just do it all in the open world.
Yeah, the world is at least one big interconnected world. Unlike Honkai, it's like you're always returning to the bridge and then clicking through menus.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah.
So I mean, in essence, like it might just be the case of like if you sum up the typical criticisms of Genshin, it's like there is an identity crisis, right? It's like this game is very ambitious, and it did want to like spark this feeling of like, hey, there's like a huge open world to explore and discover. But at the same time, like it's still built with the mechanics of like a gacha mobile game, right? And that's what kind of like maybe holds it back, so to speak, or like keeps it in a certain frame of reference.
Yeah, that's a very
That is true. Yeah.
it's a very nice way to word it, but yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because like I mean, like again, what Albie said is like if this becomes too co-op heavy, and in my opinion, co-op heavy would be like if you can't, if it gets to the point where you can't complete content in the game without co-op, or like there are major events in the game where like you must do co-op portions. Like people who just literally don't want to do co-op will just not do that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I mean, it's about serving your target demographic, right? Like, do people who play Honkai, like, are they going to be big on single player or multiplayer, right? Or like, do people who play Genshin, are they going to be big on single player or multiplayer? I mean, I'm willing to bet that like the majority of the people who play it in, say, like China or on their phones will be like, I'm content with the majority of the content in Genshin. But then like, I know a lot of like PC players in NA are definitely feeling like, hey, this game needs to be something else, right?
Yeah, I think cultural demographic is definitely something to consider, and what type of market they're trying to serve.
That's a huge part of it. That like, you know, like Honkai was their first successful international game, but like what really matters is the fact that it spawned in China, right? Like this is a game that originally started in China with like the Chinese audience in mind in the beginning. But yes, they had the ambition to be like, we want a full global release. And it could just be like, hey, maybe they didn't, I don't know, fully consider like the taste of like players in other regions necessarily.
The growth.
I mean, yeah, I think it's pretty obvious that they didn't expect like such an explosion of hype and everything, but.
And popularity, yeah.
Yeah. So
I actually think. Okay.
You think they planned it out? It was just as Keikaku?
No, I think they were expecting something. Maybe not to the, because they okay, from like a metric standpoint, they know how much they're going to put in terms of marketing budget, and they know how much of a return that they expect from it, in my opinion, or at least how much engagement they're going to get. I think what they didn't expect.
I read that they budgeted 100 million for, was it both marketing and development, or was it purely for marketing?
No, it's just marketing. Development was about 300 million.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, development took 300 mil. 100 mil for development would be a little too low.
Okay, gotcha. All right, probably. Sorry, you were saying.
Yeah, sorry. 100. Well, I lost my train of thought, but.
Oh no, you were saying that they budgeted a certain amount of money, you know, for marketing and everything.
Oh yeah, for marketing. Yeah. And I'm assuming that they knew that they were expecting at least some level of return from all of this marketing. I think it paid off a lot larger than they would have expected, especially looking at certain places that they were going to market and who they targeted to help do their marketing. I think something that I think Genshin did really that I haven't seen any other companies do is they specifically picked out streamers on Twitch as well that were targeting markets that they knew that the viewers would like something like this. That is pretty interesting, you know? They had Lily, they had Pokimane. These are people that, you know, and even hardcore gamers as well, people who do like, you know, MMO type stuff. They target Artosis in Korea. Like this is weird. Yes. Like they have to know about this. They have to know about, you know, StarCraft.
I mean, part of me wants to say it was a split test. Like it was the whole, like as a marketer, you have the choice of going broad or going deep. I don't know how else to like call it, right? Yeah. Oh, you give them too much credit, says LB.
Okay.
Because to play devil's advocate, what they could have done is literally looked at regional streamer numbers and just said these are the biggest streamers. Period.
Yeah.
True, it could be that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I think that I think their marketing did something right. They did something right.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm not gonna say it's purely luck, but they took advantage of an opportunity for sure.
Yeah.
They did well with what cards were given to them, you know?
Yeah.
True, especially with the pandemic as well.
I think they would have been better though. Imagine if Genshin, because Genshin was supposed to make a splash at AX this year or last year. Imagine how that would have been. You know?
Oh yeah.
They had a huge display for Honkai the previous year, and with Genshin releasing, like their plan was for like end of like how if it wasn't for the pandemic, and their original plan was launch in spring, and the game would have been out in summer, and like just think of the type of like I don't know. I just felt that would have been a pretty good like marketing opportunity as well. Obviously, they didn't get to do that, but I just wonder how that would have been in comparison to how things planned out this past year.
But what do you feel like an in-person booth and like showcase would do more for the game than like what they've had?
I think it would
this
reach.
past year?
I think it might have reached more like an audience, more of an audience. Their engagements have been. I would say their engagements would have been decent at previous like conventions and gaming conventions, but they were never at something that was anime focused. And this game is full of that. It has that aesthetic.
Well, you did say they had a big booth at Anime Expo for Honkai,
Yeah,
right?
for Honkai, yeah. But Honkai wasn't super duper popular then. I mean, the biggest game at that point in time for mobile, I don't think was Honkai. But MiHoYo had a lot of money to throw around to take up a significant space in South Hall, so.
Okay, so I can at least, I mean, I understand. I think it would have been really cool to have Genshin at Anime Expo, especially because of the art style and like how you can kind of demo the game as like, wow, look at this shit. Like, and then you could like, I don't know if they have PCs or like tablets set up, but you could like explore the world like while there, right?
That's kind of what they did for PAX East in 2012 in February.
2012?
In 2020.
I was like, what?
Yeah, like 2020.
Which game? They did Genshin at PAX East?
Yeah, at PAX East 2020. There's actually one YouTube video of an interview for Genshin back then. It was the only one that we ever got. That's because it was such an unknown game. People were like, well, people hated China back then. People are still like that.
What are you talking about? They still hate China. If anything, they hate it more now.
You're right.
Hate it, dude. Never left.
Yeah. It's more like, this game from China, it's a ripoff from Breath of the Wild. We're not going to pay any attention to it.
Oh, okay, yeah. There's the typical.
That comparison, yeah, that's true. That
was the strongest sentiment that the game had.
Of course.
It dominated pretty much any discussion on it for, I don't want to say a while, but it was in everyone's head for a little bit.
Yeah.
But they had PAX East and they had PS4 controllers, and they had keyboard mouse demos at the thing, but they were all PCs underneath.
All right, so basically, okay, all the demos.
Yeah. I don't think their PS4 build was solid enough for display at that time.
Oh god, damn, that's crazy. Yeah, I wish I had known. But hindsight's 2020. I wish I had gotten into Honkai at the same time as you.
Would you?
But I don't know. Because the thing is, like, would I have had the same path? And I don't know, right? Because obviously it's completely different now that I go from Genshin to Honkai than Honkai to Genshin. Because it doesn't sound like, Dan, you're gonna go back anytime soon. So
I don't know. I mean, it's fun. I'd like to play it for the sake of collection of characters, but there are specific ones I want, and I would need someone to tell me when to play to like, hey, if you do this, you're gonna be able to get this character. And
like, hey, Asuka's only available in February, and you're like, I missed it.
Basically, Aoki. Basically.
Yeah, I mean, Aoki is one of the big reasons why I picked up Honkai.
You're playing it, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Aoki's my sensei now, dude.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
The
constant reminder. I asked him for all the lores. So I'm lore videos about this. Yeah.
Dude, yeah. That's the thing about Honkai is that it has so much more lore.
Like story, right?
That I'm just like, wow, like I'm really enjoying this, and it's really like convoluted, obviously. So it's not like super great storytelling, but like the tidbits you get are like really good.
It's not straightforward. It's just like little pieces here and there. You just connect the dots, right, as you go.
Yeah. Like there's this video that was made in 2018, so it's fairly like not rudimentary, but like it's not as relevant now. But like it's a Chinese video about the story of Honkai. And like I just love how he explains it because it's just it really is a mess. It's just all over the place.
Which is not bad.
Yeah, it's not necessarily bad. Once you start piecing it together, you start like you put certain patterns together and you're like, oh wow, like this character or like these events, like so yeah, and then you get invested and you become like me where you're like, oh my gosh, like I just want to know what happens or whatever. So
Yeah, same here.
yeah, it's just difficult because they drip feed like the lore through different mediums, right? Like you don't learn it all just by playing the game. Like you can, but the game only gives you like a little bit of it.
I'm not sure if I like that, but I can understand it, but I get it.
Yeah, because I felt the same way about Overwatch. Now, I feel like the world building in Overwatch was superb, but getting actual story in Overwatch was a pain in the ass.
Yeah,
because
you had to consume it differently, right?
Yeah, like I didn't want to read the comics, and like I mean, ironically though, I'm a little tempted to read the Genshin manga. I mean the Genshin manga as well as the Honkai manga. But for Overwatch, it was just a like a matter of this game is really interesting and I love it. The world and environments are super cool, but like the amount of lore that they give us in the game is so low that it's like it's only Easter eggs and like little tidbits here and there. And like you can say the same thing about Genshin, but at least in Genshin there's story quests, right? There's like legitimate things that you do to technically progress the story.
A little bit of world building.
Yeah, we're still kind of in a very early stage where like we went to Liya, right? We did the whole like Rex Lapis is gone, that type of stuff, right? But
I mean, the main story.
Yeah, other than that, like the story quests that have been introduced are more for the backgrounds of the characters. It's not necessarily like anytime you get a lead, quote unquote, to find your twin, like nothing happens.
That's true.
Yeah, we're not even done with chapter 1. Yeah, exactly. Post Honkai Odyssey is really interesting. I've been playing it, and yeah, there's like an additional plane of movement, so that's cool.
What, in a Honkai?
Yeah. Post Honkai Odyssey, like people are saying like it's basically Devil May Cry combat.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So yeah, it is pretty interesting.
Wait,
but
we're not done with chapter 1? I thought we were done with chapter 1.
I think I'm not sure. Let me see.
It's like Monster's prologue, and it's also Act 3, and then where Liyue is like.
I don't think we're fully done
with 3 as well.
I think we are, because the next chapter, like chapter 2, is technically Inazuma.
Yeah.
So we are like
chapter 1 now.
Yeah, I think we are done with chapter 1, because once you basically conclude that like, oh, this is a new era and like Rex Lapis is gone, you're like, okay, you know. So
that's what I thought. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'll keep saying what Post Honkai Odyssey is in chapter 2. But yeah, I think Genshin's in chapter 2 as well. If we were to go to what, the archive?
Asuma? Yeah, the travel log. In the archive travel log. I'm on it right now too.
Monster. Chapter 1, Act 3. That's where we are.
Mm-hmm.
We finished that.
Chapter 1, Act 3. So I'm assuming each one has 3 acts.
Yeah, that's kind of the assumption I'm making as well. We could be wrong, right?
Yeah, they could make more.
Oh, this is super cool. I didn't realize the character story quests were in the archive as well. That's cool.
It is as well. Now, if they can have it replay, cutscenes for us.
Nope. Just the text.
No. I know. I'm saying I wish they actually had it.
No, I know. I wish. I don't like the fact that certain story elements in this game are locked behind events and are like not replayable. Period.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. Like sometimes we want to go through like memory lane. Like say you've left the game for like X months or whatever time. And you want to come back and you want to know the story again. Like how can you go through it? Just through dialogue?
Yeah, I don't want to feel like Dan when I showed him my Honkai account, where it's like, who the fuck are half these girls?
Yeah, what's going on?
Like you don't remember who these are? Like, oh, this is new? What?
No, they're legitimately new characters, and he's just like, who the hell is this? So it's like you miss out on so much by not being a part of it, right? And I mean, that's I think that's part of gacha gaming, right? Is to
Yeah, it is the part of
feed the
gacha gaming.
FOMO, right?
Yeah.
So
Yes, Mom, but I do want the nice cutscenes, quote unquote nice cutscenes.
yeah. Man, I feel like it wouldn't be that hard, you know? You just
Not really.
script some stuff so that they appear in the... I mean, that's the thing. All of Genshin's cutscenes are, besides the unique ones they made, it's all recreated inside the game.
Yeah, true. And it's all instance off. Like once it's over, everything goes back to normal.
Yeah, they have a pretty good like I don't know what it's called. World of Warcraft had it as well, but every like game that they make, they have like a capture like camera system, and then like they can replace actors and have whole dialogue and emotions come out, because you know how each character has all these expressions that they can do, right?
Yeah,
it's like pre-cut into the game, built into the game, and they can have them act out these animations based on like a script that they have. So this system, they've done a good job. This is something that
now incorporate it as like the same as 14 New Game Plus, where you basically just play it through just for the story again. You can play through the whole story. That would be nice. Start off again since the beginning, learn the story, fight the Valen again.
Yeah, you know, like sometimes I feel like why can't we relive some, like, because now we just fight them weekly and it just feels hollow, right? You're just I'm just here for the fucking dragon piece, okay? But like, what about the actual lore behind Dvalin?
Or the artifact too, or no, not artifact, but catalyst, whatever. The prototypes, yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
Actually, Dad, are you streaming right now?
No.
Why not?
I'm tired. And my boy Dave is streaming, so I'm here to chat about the Genshin.
The Genshin. The entity known as Genshin.
You know, influence your community as well, you know?
No, we would just split our audience. Like, we're...
I've done enough influencing. I'm tired of influencing.
Okay, you just fine. Done enough influencing, but not enough ranting.
Oh,
that you know, that's one thing I wanted to mention is that or like one thing we could also talk about is just like the Genshin community period. But like one thing I was mentioning earlier is that if you stream Genshin like full time, like of course this game is gonna feel kind of not that good to you, right?
Yeah, it's
But the repetition.
I've been trying to wean. I don't want to say wean, but to limit, not even say limit, but to like compartmentalize my time with it.
Okay.
Same here.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I guess this is me sounding like one of those prissy like naysayers or something like that. But like, I'm like, yeah. What do you expect, dude? Like, it's a game. You play to have fun. Like, if you're not having fun, don't play it, or like go get a life or some shit, right? Like it's a fucked up thing to say, but it's also like, I mean, there are other things you can do, you know?
Yeah, very true.
I think one problem is we are in a pandemic, and depending on where you live, the way it's been handled is very different from the rest of the world, right?
Yeah.
So
I understand what you mean about basically saying like if you play Genshin so much, like the game's going to feel like stale, and if you don't enjoy it, then don't play it. You know?
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be even harder if you wail?
Yeah, it is. I would agree. I definitely feel that wailing ruins an aspect of the game.
Well, okay, yeah, it does, but at the same time, you can actually build your characters, right?
Right.
Like you have the resources to.
To an extent, however much I'm willing to throw at it, and then
I know that wailing ruins it because like now you don't, you know, it's just like might as well just throw another used scroll at this in order to get what I want, right?
I was actually thinking more in the sense of like there's less of a challenge.
Oh yeah. Exists. But I mean, you wail on purpose, right? Because you're like, oh, I suck at the game, so I might as well throw a used scroll at it so I can win, right?
Wow.
I don't know if that's the case entirely for me.
not for, okay, maybe for some people, but not for everyone, all right?
Yeah.
No, I know. I mean, I guess what I'm saying is like, obviously there's a huge range of people that play the game.
Mm-hmm.
So everyone's going to wail for different reasons. But I mean, that was one of the comments that was brought up. One of the comments that was brought up was like, well, like if you wail, but then you complain that it's too easy, then like, what? Question mark? But like, yeah, like game difficulty doesn't have to be dependent on like waifus you collect or gear you have, right?
could just make it a challenge yourself. Just like limit the character you use, like I do.
That's true. That's true. You definitely could do that.
Yeah, Envy does it too, right?
Yeah, actually,
I mean, he
I think
artificially
you need
makes
more.
it harder because he's like, oh, I wanna be able to make guides that work for people who like can't get other characters or whatever. I mean, he's not always gonna be doing that because I think at some point you just go crazy. But
yeah, but I think like he recently just got a gene on his.
yeah, he got Gene, so that's cool.
Which is nice, not bad. And he
Yeah.
seems happy about it, actually.
Oh yeah,
you can
for
tell
sure.
his mood changed instantly.
Yeah.
Has he been lucky with his rolls or fairly unlucky? What do you think?
I think fairly unlucky.
Unlucky?
Yeah.
No, yeah, unlucky for himself, but for others, it's been pretty good.
Yeah, but that doesn't count. I mean, it's not his.
Yeah,
It's
Yeah,
not
but
his.
basically he's spending his luck out somewhere else. That's what I'm saying.
All that matters is for himself, though. Aw.
So what do you guys think about leaks, eh? Oh shit.
The thing is, like, about leaks, I tend to like not talk about them too much. You know, just
I love them.
it's like I like having leaks, but at the same time, you know, it kind of just ruins the surprise. You know,
Surprise.
surprise I want.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what to say about leaks, honestly.
Sometimes it's disappointment. You know.
Sometimes it's just disappointment.
Like right now, they're working on like this, like housing for 1.5.
We're not supposed to talk about it. No, I'm just kidding.
It's like housing's okay. All right, so now it's Sims. We're playing Sims now too.
Hell yeah, dude.
I think people
Have you
like,
seen the
like-
dorm system in Honkai, dude? I'm ready.
I've seen the dorm
Oh, shit.
system. Okay,
You've
I
seen
had to
it?
put that in AK and AL.
I think dorm system is okay. Here's the thing: they're adding a lot of quality of life things to games that I feel like are okay. I just wish they weren't prioritizing it so early. But I guess I understand. The dorm system will be very popular, I think, with a specific demographic, and then like it won't be a huge deal for other people, depending on what type of bonuses it may or may not provide. That I have no idea.
I mean, I think that's the problem of this game in general. Just a lot of the stuff they add, a lot of the content. I mean, this is just one of those things where I think the audience is just too broad. Like they're not going to be able to please everyone, right? People are going to be like, "Oh, I hate this shit. Like, why did you put this in the game?"
Yeah. You know, like how we started in the beginning. Like we can't always please all the demographics. It's like it's like Hangout.
What?
The hangouts,
You know how
the
some
actual
people, like people hate this, people love it. I love it. Some people hate it. You know.
the dating sim
Okay.
portion of the game,
I still haven't tried it.
dude.
I know,
Go.
right?
But you think
No,
Baba
right?
La is the cutest? Like, what are you doing?
I know. Okay, have you guys both done Barbara and Noel's story?
Yes.
I only done Barbara's,
I've done both.
and
already.
I only have one branch of it. I have to get back to it someday.
I've done all of it, except
Damn.
for Chong Yun and Bennett.
Wow, Nori. It's
Hey,
okay.
The hangout is permanent, so
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
can
it's
do
permanent, so-
Whenever.
So that's cool. Like, see, that's the thing. Like, that's legitimately like permanent content.
Yeah.
But then, you know, people are like, "This is not what we wanted," and it's like that's fair, right?
No, actually, I think it was fine. Like, I'm okay with these changes that they're adding: the housing system, the dating system, or what I don't know what you want to call it, hangouts. The liar, like permanent, like that's cool. I love all of this. You know, I think it's great. It adds richness to the game in ways that don't really help it, but at the same time, it's just like I'm wanting for more, or I'm thinking like, all right, guys, when's the big update gonna hit? When's the update where you like add Dendro?
Drop an entire region.
When's the next region where it's like, holy shit, then we have a 20 gigabyte download. Are you ready? You know, type of patch.
Oh boy, welcome to Warzone.
At some
Dropping
point,
here, boys.
you know, it's even possible that at some point in the future, maybe when you get to like chapter 6, they're gonna have to revisit Mondstadt and say like, maybe we should kind of redesign this or like spruce it up again. We might get to that point.
You know what I would look forward to is like a cataclysmic event, right? Okay,
Right.
Cataclysm, but like like fucking mess up parts of the map so that like permanent damage and shit like that. That would be super fucking cool.
What, Fortnite now?
I mean, I
yeah,
guess Fortnite
Fortnite-
took that from WoW or something. I don't know. I mean, MMOs have been doing it forever, right? So
True.
Yeah, permanent change to the world.
yeah, like that'll be cool. You know,
That'd be nice to add in, you know. like say new enemies, new challenges pop up just because of that happened.
Yeah. I mean, I agree that like from what if you paid attention to the leaks, from what we can tell, like there's gonna be a lot of interesting new additions, right? But it's still a question of like, is this like what we wanted, quote unquote?
You know what I'd like to see?
What?
Dynamic event.
What?
Yeah, that's not just Lynn needs some fucking berries, right?
Do you remember, did you guys? I know Dave did. Did you play Guild Wars 2, Nori?
No.
Guild Wars 2 had a really interesting quest system where they had it was called dynamic events, and the world felt alive, literally, because like the world would push and pull based on what was how good or bad you were doing in the event, and because of that, it would change kind of like the demographic of the area.
Okay, that kind of system.
Yeah, and the world would feel like a living world. I wish Genshin had some system like that, where we didn't have these quests where we just go to areas and we do things, but we had sections of the map that we go to. It's like, all right, we have to do something here to help the area so that we can try to return like some type of balance, you know, and have it like, yeah.
And see how the community goes with it.
That would be cool. It would feel more alive, and it would give us reason to return to areas that we've once been.
Yeah, and I think one of the issues here though is going to be similar to like the comment that Albie made and stuff that I was saying earlier though, is that like do we want this game to be an MMO, or do we understand that it's like a mobile first gacha, right?
Yeah, I'm just saying that I feel like those are like I feel like that's mutually exclusive. Like I think like Mihoyo has done a pretty good job already, where when they made this game, they had the commitment and kind of vision to say like, we want to make a game that's multi-platform. We can play it on PC, you can play it on mobile, you can play it on console as well, and technically Switch. But you know,
Well, Switch is coming out like soon.
There is no other official info other than them saying it would come out soon, and that was a while ago.
Getting pushed behind.
I think the Switch can't handle it. I think they looked at the damage that the PS4 could do, and they're like, oh shit, we have to do this. We have to optimize even more.
The fact that PS4 was like performing worse than like mobile phones in terms of load times was like blowing my mind.
It's like, we have a problem here. And so, yeah, I don't know. It was really difficult. And I was just like, all right, well, Switch is probably going to be a little bit. So with the Switch Pro, the new one they're supposed to release at some point, maybe it'll come out then.
Maybe
then, yeah.
Who knows?
So how about that? I know Envy put out a really good video, and it was about like, was it he kind of did like a state of the game as well? Was that it?
Yeah, I was mentioning at the beginning of my stream that like everyone has been putting out a video like that now, and you have your whole gamut of opinions, right?
See, we were ahead of the game, Dave. We were thinking about it before.
We didn't fucking actually do anything.
You thought about it, okay? We thought about it.
We thought about it.
To be fair, I do have like recordings of us talking about stuff like that, and like it's on me that like I didn't actually splice them up and put them anywhere. But in terms of like doing this regularly, we don't have anything going on. So
nah.
I'm sorry. If
talk about this though.
If there's anything that I did that led to this downfall, I apologize.
Okay, nice catch-all apology. No, but okay. So I mean, we're here now, so we can talk about it, right? But like, well, what did you think about Envy's like take on the state of Genshin?
I think it was actually really fair. I think he actually had a decent fair take. I was more interested on the sections where he said like, wherever he asks chat like, hey, what do you think? I think that's a good point of making like maybe like response videos to specific things that they talk about, you know, and see, you know, if people agree in general. I don't know. I think Envy's points are pretty good. He had that one section about, you know, what do we think, you know, Mihoyo should add. Fundamentally, honestly, man, I mean, they're taking feedback. I think that much is obvious. The fact that they said that they're going to that they've recognized the problem with crafting and co-op and that they're going to fix it means that they've read something, that someone wrote something somewhere at enough.
It was me. No, that was legitimately one of the most legitimizing statements in the developer update, because like people say shit like MiHoYo's not listening to us, and it's like obviously they are, because you can tell from the things they're addressing. They're trying, but it might not be to your satisfaction, but they are trying to like put in stuff into this game, right? That will please the player base. It's just not, you know, it's not something like I have 240 resin and it generates like 5 per minute now. It was like, we give you 20, or we give you an extra 40 cap, right?
Yeah, just take it.
Just too many people to please. Yeah, exactly. This sounds like a Genshin podcast. I mean, that's basically what our idea was originally, to be like, we got to get together and like record our thoughts on the game. Because yeah, like I think it would. I think and you know what? Honestly, MTash and Tectone, as much as like we meme on them, I think they did a really good job of at least like making that one video where they just talked candidly about the community and the game. I think that was a good thing.
That was a really good one.
It's just that now everyone's doing it and we're fucking behind the curve because I'm just kidding.
But yes, at least, what was it? There was a quote that I wanted to give, but I don't have it anymore. But it's just like, as long as you know that you still have like good sense, like just keep working at it.
Yeah, and I think you would appreciate this too. Albie says that a good developer shouldn't always listen to players to a point they lose their own vision. Because if MiHoYo thinks that their own internal roadmap, which, you know, it'd be nice if they released like some sort of vague roadmap for us to like understand like where they want to take the game, right? But if they think that what they're gonna do is gonna lead them to what they ultimately want for the game, then yeah, in a way, like they don't have to listen to us when it comes to major decisions like that, right? But yeah, that's just going to be a point of like, I don't know, like I hate to keep like pointing out like maybe this game just isn't for you if like you feel that way, right? Because that's just like kind of gatekeep-ish, you know?
Is it really?
No, it's not really. No,
I don't feel that way.
I don't know. I feel like an asshole when I say like maybe you just shouldn't play this game. Like I don't know. Like,
well, you just be honest then at that point, you know?
Yeah, I am being honest. It is like, hey, you know, like there are elements of this game that don't please everyone.
I think most people should know going into any game that that's going to be the case. So you're here obviously for a reason, and you should continue to.
It's just a very like, I feel like it's a very unproductive way to kind of end a conversation, because like, you know, if you go to the subreddit, which is, you know, maybe not the best idea, but if you go there and just see everyone's like complaints about everything, it's like, honestly, you could just fix this if you just didn't play the game. You know, like I just feel like there are a lot of instances of like, maybe, you know, the way you think and the way this game works just aren't compatible or something like that.
It's not for you. Like there are a lot of people who want, like a Devil May Cry type of like fighting style, or like I know there are people who want like different things. It's like I played games like this, therefore I want Genshin to be like this too.
Right.
And I could say that as well for me. Like I'm looking for elements like action, like BR, where you know, players, your time with other players is always varied. You know. Yeah,
and I don't mind the ideas. It's just like, because obviously games, you know, obviously they borrowed heavily from, say, like Breath of the Wild and stuff like that. There are very clear inspirations from other games, right?
Right.
It's just that, like, I don't know, when we get to the point where like our expectations are like, oh, it should be like this because in this game it was like that. It's like, well, you know, this isn't that game, right?
Right. Unfortunately, the way that I would approach it is to make changes to the game that benefits the game in the way that you can monetize even harder.
Why is that unfortunate though?
I don't know,
because it'll screw the rest of us over.
People think that's greedy, you know. That's not a, like, I think,
yeah, because people already think MiHoYo is like omega greedy right now, and then like, you know, the fact that they're a Chinese company like just like paints an even bigger target on their back, because then everyone's just gonna be like, oh my god, this fucking Chinese company. So I don't know.
I think fundamentally, like, I think they could work on a skin system ASAP.
Skin system ASAP
already.
Already. I feel like they should have capitalized that on day one.
Day one. Oh my god.
Their revenue stream would be through the roof. People would still pay for whaling, but they would pay additional for skins.
Yeah.
No, don't do, no.
Be honest. No. If they sold like, who's your like Ka-ching.
Noel's KFC skin?
Or Noel's KFC skin, or like
God damn.
like something, you know, like
I feel like those better be the first skins to enter the game, dude. Like,
how would you play the game and just like, this is it? It'd be interesting if skin.
I now work at KFC. Is that what?
Yeah. Basically, yeah.
Noel's Hangout Part 2, serving fried chicken.
Serving fried chicken. Wait, doesn't Mondstadt have like a KFC banner?
Yeah, right now it
yes.
does.
Yeah.
Okay.
Have you not seen it next to the Good Hunter?
See, I appreciate these small things that they add in the game.
Yeah, no, it's really nice. Like the details in this game are like I don't know how to explain it. Like there are certain things in this game where you can really tell so much tender love and care has been put into it, you know? And then there are other aspects of it where you just feel like I'm not sure if this is what we all want, you know? But that's again, that's a matter of opinion maybe. And yeah, Albie makes a good point, like saying maybe you won't like this game isn't necessarily gatekeeping, but like saying maybe you shouldn't play this game even though you might like it is gatekeeping. I mean, yeah, it's just a way to reframe what we were talking about. But I just felt like it's really unproductive to be like, well, if you just don't like the game, just don't play it, you know? But honestly, that's how I feel. Like, I think if you like get fucking upset over this game all the time, like, yeah, you just shouldn't play it, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know, like, I played MOBAs in the past, and like, those games are almost designed to make you upset. So, I don't know what to say, right? Like, some of us are just masochists.
Oh dear.
Oh,
A time from a time.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, like, I always had fun playing those games, but I just, you know, you and I, like, we know people who, it's like, are you even having fun? Like, are you even doing this? Like, I don't know.
Are you having fun?
Wait, now?
The best podcast of the best. I don't know about that, Hige.
I thought we should have this, like, maybe like once every...
Bi-weekly?
Not bi-weekly, but maybe once every
At least once every
update.
patch. That's why I Nori had mentioned would you want to do a like a 1.3 retrospective talk, because like there was a lot to kind of unpack from the Lantern Rite update that like understandably a lot of people were upset about, and I was too, but it's like, what can we at least say? I try to think of it, like Dan really helped frame this for me, but it's like, what can we say to like make this a more productive endeavor than like, oh, your game sucks and like you should,
Yeah, I feel like with
this or that.
with every complaint, you need to have a suggestion that is a well-founded suggestion that benefits the company, MiHoYo, and the player base. You can't think one-sided. That's a really selfish way to think. No developers.
Yeah, that's a really good point. It's that like, sure, we can say just give us more resin, but it's like, well, what incentive do they have to give us more resin, right?
Yeah, that's true. Give a complaint, but also give a solution.
Yeah, and that's kind of like what I wanted to. If we were to have these regular talks, like that's what we should like structure it around, right?
Yeah, present a problem and then present a solution that isn't like, a complete. Oh my god.
Give me primo gems.
I want free primo gems every day by the second.
I mean, to be fair, a daily login in game would be nice, right?
Yeah.
This is a legitimate suggestion. That is like, what are you guys doing?
I did say that as his beginning. Like, we should have one.
Yeah, Honkai has a daily login in game.
What I think it is, I think they're just slow on implementing it in game, like from a technical standpoint. That they just decided, like, hey, we can make this web event thing super fast. Let's just do this right now to satisfy
the web
them.
event.
Oh yeah. I would not put it past them to have made that decision, because that's just a lot of like, corporate decisions. Like, can we make this thing that will satisfy the requirements quick enough and cheap enough?
Yeah.
Right. And it's not even just about saving money. It's like it is time. It really is. It's resources they have to commit. Right.
Yeah.
Again, I don't think like, building the web event took away a very like dominant core of the development team, but it was like, how do we introduce a daily login event without having to like mess with like the fact that we are pushing out 1.3 and 1.4 all at the same time or whatever, like it's just business. Yeah, exactly. Resources aren't unlimited, unfortunately, right? Surprisingly, you will find people who don't play games or part of the target audience handling business and marketing. That's not a surprise at all to me. I mean, that unfortunately that could be the case too. It's just like, oh, maybe like leadership just doesn't understand that certain things are not going to be, you know, received very well by the player base or something like that, right?
You guys want to talk about 1.3 now?
I mean, I guess we might as well. I don't know when we're gonna get the next chance to just like really sit down and talk about it, right? So my problem with 1.3.
We have like a list of the like what happened because I'm at the point where it's just like, man, what?
Right,
what
it feels a little far away now, right?
It does, yeah.
All right, let's start now then. Start off the list. All right, what's your first on the list?
No. Dan was asking, do we have a list? Because now
Yeah.
it's like I forgot what happened. Okay, these are the things that were introduced in 1.3. From the top of my head, Lantern Rite Festival. Already, like, my opinion of it, pretty low.
Wasn't that?
What did we have?
CBT 2 though.
It was the 3 stages of fetch quests, and then
It was 3
the
stages.
the shell
each one
story.
yeah, and each one had like what, nine fetch quests.
Between
No.
4 to 9.
It was a lot. It felt like a lot.
It was a lot of fetching. Now
Yeah,
here's the thing. Part of it is like it was actually a lot of touching stories of like
Right.
parallels to real life, like actual Spring Festival, and especially in the context of the pandemic and how people couldn't go home to see their families. It was a very
Yeah.
tragic thing.
Yes, it
but to a
was.
North American audience and to an audience like to anyone who just like doesn't want to fucking read that shit doesn't matter at all.
Unfortunately, yes.
And I hate to say that because like obviously that like I feel like that's culturally important to me. But yes, when I was playing the game, I was just kind of like, I'm just trying to like brute force my way through Lantern Festival, you know? Because yeah, in terms of like engaging gameplay, I just didn't feel it, you know?
Yeah. What do we have for in terms of bosses? Did they add anything?
They added the Primo
Bishop?
Geo Bishop. Yeah.
Okay. Not a
Yeah,
bad fight.
Not a bad fight, but it kind of feels a little too easy if you have like Zhongli.
Just a shielder.
Yeah.
Zhongli and another
Should be
and one of the top DPS of the game. Like Ganyu, Hu Tao when she came out, just ended up kind of being a little easy.
But also
And
seemed
we-
like it kind of forced people to actually have a Geo built.
I mean, that's honestly that's on purpose. Like they know that Geo just didn't start off well, right? And they've been trying to like adjust things for Geo for the longest time. Geo's just in this tough spot of like Geo and Animo don't do the same things that the other elements do, but Geo especially is like, are shields important in this game? Question mark. And I think the answer in the beginning was no. So they were like, we need to do something about that and make shields valuable, right? Yeah, Hige says they had to give like 10 buffs to Geo and people still use Animo over it. Yeah, like hands down, like Geo just suffers from not being an element that like people find particularly useful. Now it's better, right? Now that you can do stuff like apply extra damage when you have double Geo, now that you have a stronger shield from Zhongli, like, and just more viable Geo characters in general, I think that's generally helped the element itself.
Like with the Zhongli, Albedo.
Yeah, they were two really good additions to Geo, I feel like. I mean, besides the whole Zhongli fiasco, right? After his buff, like everyone wanted him again.
Yeah.
And then Albedo was like an extremely economical support character.
Like, wasn't there like a post about the sales for each banner? Like how much each one made?
Yeah, the one from well, there's the one from Sensor Tower where it's estimates from the mobile stores, and then there's like the one that guesses the actual monetary like the revenue made from each banner since the first Venti. And yeah, like you know, it look I don't see, the thing is I don't know, because we're missing like the Chinese data and like third party sales and I guess like the pure PC sales, but like I don't think that like pure PC isn't going to be like a huge mover, I don't think. But at least from the Sensor Tower data, like Albedo was the lowest performing banner, but I think that was due to like a lot of the backlash against the Zhongli banner, and maybe just the overall feeling of like underwhelm of Albedo as a hero. But you can make a guess at like anything, I feel like, you know, because one of the theories from like one of our buddies is that like, oh, like Zhongli and Xiao did so well because like female players would rather not pull on the girl banners and commit everything to the male banners, whereas like male players would spend on everything. But it's like, is that even true? Like, I don't know, right?
I spawned those and waifus, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think there is like a dwarf wailing for Hu Tao. Yeah, I know, but you're a special case. No, I'm just kidding. No, like that's
Dwarf wants
obviously
Daddy
a
Dongli.
no, that's obviously a stereotype, right? Or that's a generalization. That's the thing. Like, can you prove that? I don't know. Like, you have to show the data and be like,
correlation
this is
between the
how.
two.
Yeah, this is the correlation, and this is how we can prove it. Like, there's no, I have a theory. Like, you can have a theory,
Well, what's the
and that's fine.
evidence?
What?
What's the data? Right. to back
Yeah, I
it
mean,
all
all
up?
we have is like guesses. Like, we don't have like MiHoYo's not going to publish their actual numbers, right?
Nah.
So we're not really going to know.
It'd be surprising if they did.
Oh yeah, it'd be extremely surprising if they did. I don't think they ever will. I don't think they've ever done it for Honkai, right?
Don't think so.
Let the theory stay a theory.
True.
They show you self stats for Honkai, but not overall. Oh, you mean like how much you've spent? I mean, I feel like that should be obvious. I don't even know how to find that.
Time for you to learn.
Yeah, because in Genshin too, you have your own wish history, and that should be a thing. Absolutely, you should know what you spent your money on, right?
Yeah, how much you spent it, or
Yeah.
how far you in.
Yeah. Oh, the anniversary stuff, the review. Mine didn't record anything because I'm too new of a player. I didn't meet the cutoff. Or at least the little, like the storybook thing, it doesn't do anything for me. I was like, dang, that sucks.
In other words, telling you to play more.
Yeah, basically. But yeah, so okay. We were talking about earlier, like in 1.3 we got Lantern Rite Festival, right? And I think unfortunately I just had this expectation that it was gonna be like a super rad event. So like the reality was like even harsher for me. Like I wasn't gonna like go, make some huge Reddit post and be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. I was just like, oh, I'm disappointed. But there's like other stuff in the game to do, right?
I'm sad that they removed this server collaboration aspect of it.
Yeah. Yeah, when you told me that was in closed beta and it didn't happen, I was like, wait a minute, why didn't we get that thing?
Yeah, I don't know. I felt they could have added some form of it and maybe refined it a little bit, but they just ripped it out.
Yeah. So maybe, I don't know, they're saving it for another time or something.
Maybe.
No, I think I feel like they just had it on closed beta just so we get feedback on how the event is, at the time. Just for that.
Maybe. Oh yeah, like Wish history is supposedly getting wiped out soon too, because they're only
What?
gonna preserve it for 6 months, and that's weird,
Really?
right? Because we don't have an in-game way to export our Wish history.
Yeah.
And like I remember talking to Dan about like, oh, look at these tools we can use, and he's like, whoa, like they're tapping into the API, like what is this, right?
There's some that are
Yeah.
good. There are some that are questionable. I would use the ones that you have to download from GitHub. Those are probably way better. The ones that manually have to like not use your Genshin shit and that it's just like a Python script that you run. That's a lot safer.
Yeah.
And you can see the code right there.
Mhm.
So yeah, what a lot of them do is that they basically just use like your, because Genshin has an Electron, a Chromium or an Electron browser built in. Honkai does, and it just loads that up and it just copies all the HTML data out, puts it in a spreadsheet.
That's wild. Who would have thought that me recording all of my 5-star wishes was gonna be a good thing?
That's okay. Just use the app or the GitHub whatever program.
Yeah, there's one that's like really, I don't want to call it rudimentary, but like it actually just copies and pastes from the browser window, like your data. So that's like the safest one to use, right? It's just probably maybe a little clunky. I don't know. But yeah, like sometimes that's what I'm referring to when I say like sometimes I feel like, they take our feedback very seriously and they're like, hey, that's really, that's really cool. They're listening to us. And other times I'm like, wait, why isn't this a feature already, right? Like you think about it and you're like, But, there are priorities, obviously.
What else at 1.3? That was
So there was the
Sorry.
GeoBishop, there was the Bishops and Where to Find Them event, which I feel like, Dan.
yeah, the
Damn.
also the expedition, right?
Yeah, the new expeditions. I feel like those should have been
Like in the beginning,
standard.
like right off at 1.3, like we should have gone that and not like near the end.
Mm-hmm.
And that we have it like continuously throughout the
Yeah.
1.3. That would have been nice.
Yeah, it would have felt more like an actual like Adventurers Guild activity, right?
Yeah.
Because sometimes I even forget that, like, you know, according to the story and the lore, like, we're part of the Adventurers Guild. I mean, it's like kind of obvious, but it's like, what does the guild like do for us other than be like an NPC that we talk to in order to get credit, right?
Or get our like quest from jobs and everything.
Yeah, I mean, it's not even like I don't know, like more reasons to connect us to the world. I feel like are good, like things where we have to interact with certain NPCs. Like I say that, but like I don't like the bounty system necessarily, right? Because you have to like go talk to the same person over and over again and then just be like, give me a new bounty. Okay, go find this, you know? I think bounties are a really good direction, like a step forward on expanding expeditions.
Like the reparatory thing?
Yeah, the reputation system. Like I think bounties are a good way to get you to, yes, like continue exploring the world, but it's still, obviously it's still constrained by the fact that you have to like find something in a certain region, which I think is, you know, good. Because you don't want to be like, go into the rest of the world and see what happens. Like, that's might be a little too vague, right?
Yeah. Especially like, say if you're like a new player, you'd be like more confused. Like,
yeah, and that's another thing that I'm kind of curious about is that like how many people are like actually like we keep thinking this way where it's like, you know, most people have to be AR-55 by now, but what if they're
but some
not?
people aren't. There isn't everyone.
Yeah, like what if the majority of the player base isn't?
I actually think, based on some, I've seen some polls. Now, I honestly, the polls are, I think, they're going to be different. Or they're going to be different based on demographic. I think maybe NA is going to be different than Japan, different than China, different than whatever. You know, I think from what I saw though, 55% are AR-55 and above.
Wow, that's a good portion of the player base.
Yeah, it's basically a little bit more than half. That's what I remember seeing. Now, I don't know how accurate this is, but it was a poll from like a somewhat popular YouTuber just put out some polls, so and asked like what's everyone's AR 55 wear level.
Cause my thing, like playing devil's advocate, is like, okay, you're talking about people who actively consume Genshin content, right? Because if you're like going to some content creator's poll, like there is some amount of investment in either that content creator or like the game itself, right?
Right. So the results could be skewed, you know.
I mean, I definitely think they're skewed, but like to what degree, I don't know. Like I don't have that answer. Now, I think it's obvious that like as time goes on, like the community that stays is obviously the community that's most engaged, right? But like what about literally people who like play these games and just never go to Reddit, never go to YouTube to find out their information? Like it's crazy to think about, but it's like they do exist, right? I don't know though.
Was resin change in 1.3 or 1.4?
The resin wait, what resin change?
We got condensed in 1.3, right?
Yeah, condensed.
Condensed came in like 1.1
or 1.2 when we got bounties.
Yeah.
When we got bounties, because then we learned how to make condensed.
Yeah, I think 1.2 is vote. Okay, so similarly to Dan's point, I saw a poll on I believe on YouTube as well. And again, this is people who are like well invested in Genshin, right? I saw a poll that asked like, which update do you think was the best? And like, it was like, I think a far lead in 1.2. 1.2 brought a lot to the table. I mean, you know, there's Dragon Spine, right? But a lot of quality of life improvements and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I think compared to that, 1.3 was very underwhelming. And part of me says understandably so because of Spring Festival. But I don't know, man. I mean, yeah, maybe like losing two weeks of work time for the entire team. You know, that's a lot. That is a lot. So
it is. But you know, they gotta get that break in, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like sometimes I feel like the criticisms I read are like really insensitive because it's just like, oh my gosh, like everyone's supposed to be on vacation. Let's not work on the game. Let's like just give them a fucking break, dude. Like I don't know.
It's like if they were in that situation, they would take the break.
Yeah, I would hope so, but you never know. I don't know. I mean that goes back to like I was editing some footage earlier, and there was this talk that like Dan and I had, Dan and some of our other buddies on voice chat, and it was like, do you think gamers are like really entitled? And everyone was like, yes. I mean, they're good. There's good reasoning. Like, it's just straight up like Dan was saying. You know, honestly, like this in this day and age, to make a game like a AAA game and to sell it for just $60, it's kind of crazy now. For how much you get.
Or the demand for it actually.
Mm-hmm.
Are you guys all done with the event ready for Windbloom?
I am not
yet.
I don't think. I think I still need to do story, but I think I finished like Peculiar Wonderland, but I still have to do it for Chooser's account.
Playing 2 accounts.
Yeah, just for now. Just until Friday.
This was a small thing, but Boatkeeper Dainsleaf was an addition to the
That is
1.3. That was a good story element that unfortunately just was really short. But I like that it you know, it foreshadows like what we're gonna get at the end of 1.4, right?
Maybe. I don't know. I haven't done it yet.
God damn it!
Which one?
I'm sorry.
The Dainsleaf quest.
Oh, him.
Yeah.
Right. The Farm Jamora and like over 3 questions.
The
Yeah, you pay him.
yeah, you pay him. Perfect Shot. The Pokemon Snap event that was part of 1.3.
Oh
With
yeah.
the camera.
Uh-huh.
I like that we could trade.
Yes, 5 Flushes of Fortune, the trading aspect of it, that was neat.
I mean, give people like pictures when you're done. It's like, here, take all my extras.
Yeah. Like it adds an element like so this you know, this is kind of part of the whole co-op conversation, right? It adds an element of like social, like there's a social aspect to the game, but it's not like a huge requirement, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like you could solo it, but it's nice that you can like give back and not have that be a cost to you.
Actually, was it anyone that wasn't able to finish it if they didn't have friends?
I think if you had bad RNG, yeah, it might have been I don't know though, because at some point, like in the last couple of days, everyone was giving me shit, and I was like, wait a minute, like I want to give you shit too. So.
Yeah, like at one point, like I wish people read the profile like, hey, I'm done. No photos, please. No.
Well, you
more.
can like, you don't have to accept.
Yeah,
them
you don't have to
anymore.
take it, but the problem is once you give something to someone, it locks it in as you giving it away.
Yeah, so you can't get it back.
So, I mean, that could have been feedback that they could have taken as like, hey, the next time you do something like this, maybe design it in a way where it doesn't have to like, I don't know, like it needs to be claimed or something.
I think that's more code that they have to reconcile.
No, of course. Like this,
Yeah.
you know.
Always be more code.
They need more developers.
Developers. I mean, yeah, maybe they do, dude.
I have no idea.
It's a big game. Like pretty soon, I feel like they're gonna get to the point where it's like, hey, is this an MMO? Like maybe.
It feels like one.
Yeah, there are
it done?
times where this game legit feels like an MMO. I'm running around and just I'm doing things. But then there are other
Like right
times
now?
where it doesn't, you know, where I'm just like, I guess I'll chill. Yeah, like I just ran around and killed my ley lines for fun, you know.
Alright, same here. I'm running around as well.
Yep. This is the extent, and this is why streamers are like unhappy with Genshin, because it's like, where's the content? Like, what do I get to make videos on? It's like, you just figure it out, buddy.
Didn't Envy say that at those exact words? It's like,
Yes.
I don't know what to make videos
Yeah.
on. Like,
Exactly.
Yeah.
he's telling his community,
if you want to be a cynic and you want to be like, you know, just be like, figure it out, forehead. But yeah, I mean, like, Tectone basically said that in a way. He was like saying, oh, I love this moment of Genshin because everyone is like, I don't know what to do, but I can still make videos. And it is true. Tectone is just a personality, so he knows what to do.
yeah.
Just scream into the screen and you get views.
Oh boy.
I mean, I know that's what it seems like, but I can, you know, I have to admit, like, I respect like people like MTash and Tectone for like their crafts. I don't have to like their content, but like I can respect what they do.
They clearly know what they're doing, and they do
They
it well.
definitely know what they're doing. Fucking MTash and his whole like spiel about being like a businessman, like yeah, and Tectone's like, holy shit, I need to learn from you. It's like, yeah, like he is calculated what he does.
Do you feel like we should be starved of content for like 2 months, or get every update a month and a half?
Wait, what?
I'm confused.
Wait,
would you-
should
would
we
you
be
rather
starved
have-
every 2 months, or
Like-
have a big content update every 6 weeks?
No, like be starved of no content and give them like 2 months of time. Actually, not 2 months, but like three months of time to
To
develop
make everything we want them to make?
Yeah.
Are you talking about just as a one time or moving forward? You know, for
Let's go with one time first. A one time thing for now.
absolutely one time.
Absolutely one time, because you want them to just catch up.
I just want them to
Figure some shit out.
give us the game that we wanted to see. You know, the game that
What are
we
you talking
dreamed
about? This is the game you asked for. This is the game.
I feel like I want to do like not just once. I want to
You want them to do it more often?
more often. Yes.
I'm confused. So you want longer? You want them to give them more
yes.
time?
Yeah. Give them.
And
I
then-
want them to have 3 months to develop stuff while we wait. Like it will hurt the player base for sure, but I feel like it'll give them time to at least decide on what they want to do, how they're gonna do it,
And how they're gonna do it, right?
Yeah,
Like
and
long
then,
term, right?
and then also like taking the feedbacks from us if midway through like it won't
Yeah.
look that good to us.
Yeah, let's flesh out. I'm hoping that's what they're doing for Inazuma. I'm hoping that when they finally drop like 2.0, because every time Genshin or anytime like MiHoYo does like updates for their games, like major version changes, usually means that they've done some big changes to the system that has, you know, that's either an addition or a change to the game. I think Aoki probably might remember, but like at least for Honkai, I felt like every major patch was like a big deal. And I'm
As it
hoping they do
should.
that with Genshin. I'm hoping they do that with Genshin.
I think they will. I mean, it's very clear. Like, things make a lot more
They're
sense
trying
to me
to.
now that I've been playing Honkai. So I'm actually like really glad I did do that, you know?
Yeah, give them some time.
It's always about giving them
Lots of
time.
times. That's why I feel like just give them 3 months, you know?
Yeah. Like stop updating. Let us just
Stop
I don't know.
updating.
Start
Oh,
giving us
jeez.
like web events.
Well, I mean, I don't like Dave said, the web events might be a separate dev team. They could continue to feed us garbage web events while they develop, you know.
Oh yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
I mean, honestly, we could just say no web events, please. Like, we just don't like them.
But I agree with Nori here. I would choose not to have things like tower mechanists in place of more just
Theater Mechanicus.
theater.
Yeah.
It's just like I could have done without that and had more development time towards core mechanics of the game, figuring out Dendro, you know. And honestly, that's what I'm looking forward to, like whenever Dendro's coming.
Dendro, an element that just burns all the time.
Yeah, like we have to see how much brain that MiHoYo has, you know, how much Pepega have they literally put into the Dendro element. Are we gonna have a multiple? Do you remember that whole like element? Oh my, where is it? There's that element chart that I have on my stream,
Right.
and then how it shows all the reactions and how each element can react with each other.
Yeah.
Like once Dendro's introduced, are we gonna have a bigger web, or is it just gonna be this stupid 1-to-1 thing? You know, because I'm gonna be super pissed if that's exactly what it is.
It's gonna be like
Denjo's-
Nemo and Geo, kind of like which is better out of the 3.
Oh god. Because Dendro's whole purpose almost feels like what is Dendro even good against?
I want Dendro right now. Now. I'm sorry, Dwarf.
Against Hydro?
Right,
But then
look at
Electro's
this.
good against Hydro.
Look at this thing.
Yeah, that straight line of Pyro better than Dendro.
Oof, man. I'm just hurting here. It's just like, are we gonna have like some connection, please? Like Dendro Swirl, Dendro Geo, Dendro Cryo. What do we get? You know?
Yeah.
Actually, we know what Dendro
What's the
Geo and
multiplier? What's like? Are we
Yeah, what
getting
effect?
buffs, debuffs? Are we getting like certain things?
yeah, what is gonna happen? You know? Let's make it creative, please. And they also have to introduce puzzles that are, you know, that require it as well. You know?
Yeah.
No, they gotta rebalance Electro first.
That they could do that too. See, these are the things I want them to work on for the game, you know, fundamentally. And I felt like it's just they're spending a lot of time, like what they did in 1.3 as like filler events, like Fall Guys type of filler events that don't address the core of the game. And either because it's hard to program for or they just need time. I have no idea.
I think it's both. It's a bit of both.
Yeah, it's probably a bit of both.
Also, like the lack of security too, you know.
Oh dear.
What's your take on that, Dan? Because you seem to be pretty strict on security overall.
I think fundamentally it's not MiHoYo. Okay, if you're getting hacked, it's not MiHoYo's fault. Two-factor authentication is gonna help, but if you're the type of person that's getting hacked already, you're probably the type of person that is not going to sign up for two-factor authentication. And is going to look at it and say like, "Fuck it, this is too much trouble. I'm not doing this," you know. And so I don't think it's actually going to help the end problem. It might help a certain percentage, but it's not going to be the problem solver. You know, people are going to be insecure with shit no matter the fact, even with 2FA. But 2FA will help. It's just that you can't force 2FA on everybody because not everybody is going to have like 2FA options, you know. And some people might not want to hook it up that way. You got phone, you got text, you have authenticator.
Well, I mean, it is going to be optional, right? If it ever gets introduced. So
yeah.
But I don't know. I guess it just feels like something where it's like, why would you just ignore this? I guess, right?
I don't know why MiHoYo doesn't add it from a technological standpoint.
Because Honkai doesn't have it.
Yeah, from a technological standpoint, I would bet that there's something government China security related that ties into that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'd say
is China just not is 2FA not a thing in China?
I don't think so. I think it is actually. I just think that maybe MiHoYo specifically. I can't answer this question. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, obviously it's
too
not
many factors, right? And is this too many factors?
Yeah, we just don't know.
We just don't know. It's unfortunate that they haven't specifically addressed this clearly.
So so that's the big thing, right? And that's why I liked what like Psychopogo said in his video. I think Asian guy also said it, but like basically like the one reason why there is so much like backlash from the community over like the 1.5 dev build drop and all that stuff isn't necessarily because like, oh my gosh, like we need the leaks or whatever, right? It's just like MiHoYo's been like very, I don't know, ambiguous and like black box about everything. It's just not transparent, right? And then but when it comes to like the leaks, that's the one thing they like really stamp their foot down on, which is understandable again, right? But it's just like, why this? You know, why is this the one time that you like come out of the woodwork to like address our issues? I think that's a feeling I get from like, you know, from what I've observed. Would you agree, disagree?
Yeah.
What do you feel about that?
I agree with it.
Because like from what I understand, you know, the whole like, you know, the leaks thing that was, you know, that just shouldn't have happened, and it's unfortunate it did. You know, obviously I still think, you know, the company is responsible for protecting its IP and what it's working on. But yeah, problems are exacerbated by like people who, I don't know, want to do whatever they want with things they discover. So just turned out to be like this really bad thing. And now like supposedly the 1.5 beta test is now shut down. Not sure if you know,
any future ones.
Yeah, like what does this mean for the future of like public testing, community testing for the game, right?
I still think the testing is going on. I heard the dev build was, I don't know. I don't know.
What?
I'm still shocked that MiHoYo would let like they don't like permission guard like your download links for stuff like this. And
right. I mean, this seems like this honestly this and when you combine this with 2FA, it's kind of like, does this company just not care about security, right?
Yeah.
Is this something whitelisted, right? Or no?
The users?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, are any of us in the Pioneer beta?
No.
Yeah, so we don't know, right?
I was thinking about applying for it, but then like...
They don't whitelist. It's not a whitelist. They just... You're invited as part of a thing, and then you get a special client. You get a special client that connects to a different server. They have different ones. They're trying to build out one for like
Oh, like separate regional servers?
yeah, I mean they've invited people to this from like their localization QA groups. It's just and that's how it was for closed beta as well. When we were invited to Genshin Impact closed beta, it's like don't share the client, don't share the client. But it's like it doesn't matter if we share the client. People can download all they want, but you know, you're whitelisted anyways.
Yeah, but this time it's not whitelisted.
Yeah, this time what they released was what got leaked, or I don't know what it was an actual development build. They can boot up the game without a specific server. There's no connection, and you can immediately get in and just play with developer. They had like dev tools where you can like spawn shit and whatnot, and that's just like, you know, that's not an actual like a user-based client. That's like a, you know, something internal. So the fact that they leaked that is just like someone fucked up really fucking bad somewhere.
Yeah, that was really wild to me because like I've seen on Twitter like someone basically going like God mode in Genshin Impact and like producing stuff that shouldn't be in the game or whatever, you know?
Yeah, it's like impossible to get, and so yeah, that's on MiHoYo.
That's on them.
That's on them. They fucked up somewhere. Someone fucked up somewhere. It's like basically, you know, your company uses like Amazon Web Services, and then you store all your customer private data, and then you put it on an S3, and you say, okay, give the world access, make it public to the internet. It's just like, okay, whose fault is it? Do you blame Amazon or do you blame the people who set it up? You know, that's
the one thing I'm kind of about the Tech Otaku Save the World thing. To be honest, I don't trust otakus as much as regular business people.
Oh my god, Dave.
Is that
horrible.
how you calling it now?
Well, that's what Albie said. I mean, to be fair, like, okay, like, I mean, this is just me talking about my own people, okay? But like, yeah, dude, like, sometimes the otaku demographic is just known for not always being the easiest to work with, not thinking of, you know, not thinking through all the problems, like, maybe the way they should, right? So
yeah, all the social isolation has tend to have some negative effect, right?
Yeah, they want their street cred so much that they're willing to betray the company and leak. Oh, you think there was an inside job? They cannot be objective. Well, earlier Albie was saying like he doesn't like the leakers at all because they really ruined a lot of I mean basically like the marketing operations of the company.
Right.
I mean, which is true, because then how do you set expectations after something like that, right? There's lower level devs leaking out some stuff. That's how some of China gets their info. Yeah, I guess I wouldn't be too surprised, right?
I mean, that's okay if they leak some info to stuff. I mean, I understand that, like even lower level devs.
Yeah, but a whole dev build,
like a dev client that
people can download and launch.
I mean, okay, there's two problems with this, all right, which is number one, every game that's under development, like, and I know Blizzard and Amazon both do this, is when they have games under development, even if you copy the files off to another game, you could not run it. It would not execute on any other PC because they have a client, Blizzard's is called Warden, that basically detects whether or not, like, if this is a development build, like they will not, the game itself is built in such a way that it will not execute if it's not like within network, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And the fact that MiHoYo hasn't built in some type of like structurally into the game, which they can do, and I'm pretty sure they have like the talent to do it, that dev builds are not like this is worrying. You know, why didn't you do this? This is like industry standard. Why could you not do this? Was there something holding you? Like, what's going on? Right. That worries me, you know, that they don't like find a way.
Corners.
Yeah.
Yeah. It sounds like cutting corners or something like that. If they're this firm about leaks but don't have no protection whatsoever, I don't know what's going on. You'll be surprised how under-equipped most game devs are. That's unfortunate.
Not Blizzard, not Amazon. These companies are.
Yeah, but okay. The two companies you just cited are like.
Okay, all right.
As much as there is to complain about these two mega corps or like huge companies, they are kind of the cream of the crop of their regions, right? And internationally as well, right?
Right.
Resource-wise and. Talent-wise and stuff like that. It's the reason why a lot of people want to work for those companies, you know? MiHoYo has seen like meteoric rise in fame in a very short amount of time.
In a very short amount of time. I don't think they can rise to the challenge. Well, they can. They just need to.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. They're going through growing pains, if anything.
Yeah.
Like when remember when we read that article about them making, I don't know, some $100 million in the first week or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, MiHoYo is a 2,400 person company. I mean, that's probably like they
Global.
just hit that number, period.
Yeah, and that's
Right,
probably
like-
global, including like all the
Yeah.
people that they need to do for like the Japanese voice acting, the talent agency for that, the production and the marketing and the distribution and live ops for multiple regions. Like, I'd like to know, what is your core development team and artist team, your production team? You know,
Yeah, so maybe you're right. Maybe they just need more devs.
maybe.
I do.
All right, everybody, thanks for listening. I hope you got some insights from that, or if you like the talk, let us know. We would love to talk more about Genshin in general and in that manner, because we think it's important to have these discussions amongst ourselves within the community with players, content creators, developers, business people, etc. All people of all walks of life contributing to these ideas and being able to present productive feedback and solutions-based feedback to MiHoYo to help improve their game. So, all right, I'm Dave. This was State of the Game, or a Genshin Impact talk. Remember to like, subscribe, leave a comment below. Let us know what you want to see in future videos. And I am growing this YouTube channel from the ground up, so I would greatly appreciate it if you could do whatever you could to support it. Thank you very much. I will see you in the next one. Peace out.